Hey fam, hope you had a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hope it was great. Mine definitely was. I have another week of vacation. Yes. Okay, so I want to get on here so I could talk about, I want to do my review of The Witcher show that's on Netflix. Okay, basically the show's been out since the 20th of December, and I had to look up the stats after I watched this. The critics, they are so wrong on this one, y'all. I think they gave it like a 56%. The audience is giving it a 93%, and rightfully so, because damn, this is a really good show. Okay, so basically, let me get into the characters here. One more thing I want to say: this show is number three, the number three most streamed show or movie shows I'll say on streaming services ever. Stranger Things is number one. The Mandalorian on the Disney app is number two, and this is number three right here. That's how good it's doing. Okay, so let's get into the characters here. We start off with Henry Cavill. He plays a character Gerald of Rivia, and Henry, we know him. He's Superman, and he was in the most recent Mission Impossible. And I have to say this: Henry is very familiar with the books and the games of this story. So much so to where he sought this role to play it. And he owns it. He is damn good in his role on this show. And hello, he's fine as all get out. I mean, he's part of the reason I had to watch, okay? Okay, then we have Freya Allen, okay? Her name is Suri on the show. She's the young girl that we see running around on the show. Blonde hair, extremely blue eyes, very pretty little girl. And she is from projects that she's previously done. The Third Day, The War of the Worlds, which came out in 2019. I'm completely unfamiliar with any of these characters but Henry, okay? And I haven't heard of these movies either, so I don't know. She did a very good job. Okay, then we have Anya Chalotra. She plays Yennefer in here, and she is from Wonderlust, the ABC Murders. And then we have Mimi Nidwini. And in this show, her name is Fringilla. And she is from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker and Witcher. Okay, so she's not that famous at all, but in 1 month, she's in the final Star Wars movie and The Witcher, the number one streaming show on TV right now. I don't think anyone's doing much better than Mimi right now, okay? Then we have Royce Pearson. His character's name in the show is Istrid. And I call him the blue-eyed Jussie Smollett, girl. He's fine, okay? All the way fine. And he has really blue eyes in this show. And he looks like Jussie. Okay, so it is what it is. So basically here we see, his show. Other shows that he's done are movies. Murdered by My Boyfriend, The Line of Duty, and he was also in Wonderlust. Okay, so these are our main characters here. And let me say this. So this is a dark and sometimes hard to follow fantasy adapted story from the books, and that were written by I'm going to butcher this, so forgive me. Andrzej Sapkowski. I don't know. Anyway, he wrote the books, then they became games. So there's a huge fan base of people who read the books, who played the games, who know the characters and the stories. I am not one of them. I'd never seen or heard anything about this until my homeboy at work was like, you should really watch it because he's read the books, familiar with the games, and he's a huge fan. And I'm like, okay, so that's him and, Henry. So I had to watch it. Anyway, so this was adapted, and basically it's not in the same timeline or order as the books. So even those people who are completely familiar with the characters and the story, they're not being given what they know in the order that they originally received it. This makes for kind of a difficult watch. And I'm not, okay, this is what I'm saying. The writing is there. The direction is there. The acting is there. The cinematography is there. The special effects, amazing. They did a wonderful job, especially with the little characters you see throughout the show. But But you have to pay attention. There's a whole lot that's going on here. There's flashing back and forth from different times. They're very good about letting you know where you are, but you have to pay attention. And even so, it's not given to you with the conflict and the politics that are going on here until much later throughout the show. So I appreciate that, because basically it keeps me interested. You know, I want all these questions answered, as well as it keeps you suspended as a watcher, wanting more, basically. So I appreciate the way this is written and given to you. Let me see. So the three main characters in the show that you see, Gerald's character, he is a monster hunting witcher, and he lives longer than a normal human being, basically. So he basically is roaming the earth, and he has to work for money. And in having to work for money, he has to do different jobs for people, hunting, killing, you know, tracking, whatever. He has to do what he has to do to make money to survive. And he's kind of a selfish, you know, he's kind of a hoe. He's running around, sleeping with different prostitutes, paying for sex. He's a guy. He's a dude. And apparently he can't have children. And that's part of a thing here, because it comes into play later when he runs into Yennefer. One of the things I would say about him basically is you see a lot. His character is just like Mando's in The Mandalorian. That's what he does. He's running around working for his money and running into all kinds of crazy crap that happens along the way. So they have a whole lot in common. Anyway, okay, then we have Yennefer's character, and she is a sorceress of the Lodge who came from horrible, horrible beginnings. She was housed with and treated just like the animals on her farm. So her father and mother have her out there dirty, nasty, with the farm animals, basically. And they sold her just like stock. They sold her like stock. Okay. So basically she's deformed also. Deformed. Her back is all jacked up and her face is messed up. She's deformed. She's considered ugly. And throughout her growth period with the sorcerers, as she goes and learns how to become a sorcerer, you see her grow mentally with confidence as well. But she has to get her ugliness taken care of, and she does so by like a magical surgery. Okay, it looks like the most horrible pain you've ever seen anybody go through, but she's able to get her back fixed, her face fixed, and she's ultimately become someone who's oh so beautiful. Whatever. Okay, that's European standard beauty. What I'm also going to say here is my girl Mimi, the black chick I was talking about, who was in the Star Wars movie as well as this one. They did her so wrong. They Americanized her ass. They Americanized with that European beauty standard bullshit. That's what they did to her. And what I'm saying is that there's a point in this show where Yennefer's getting her whole surgery done to become beautiful. And there's some prince that they have a dance with, and the Mimi is assigned as like his date for the evening, and he is not impressed. He doesn't want this dark skinned black woman. She's not cute, whatever. They Americanized her ass basically. So he ends up walking away from her, more or less wanting nothing to do with her. And of course, Yennefer comes and sweeps him off his feet, and it leaves this young black woman, her character, who's now been told basically that this world thinks that she's unattractive, to fall on other skills, of course, that she has. And she does what we do when we're told we're not good enough. You rise, you become better, because we don't give a damn what they got to say. But anyway, okay, so what you see through all these characters. Oh, the last one, Suri. Suri's the granddaughter of a queen, Calanthe of Cintra, and she's a princess of that realm, basically. And what you see with her is her grandmother raises her grandmother and grandfather. So their kingdom is wonderful. She's growing up, you know, in a happy home. And then you see their kingdom come under attack. And you see the type of queen. Her grandmother is a badass. These are the type of royalty that get out. They're not the kind that sit back and watch everything that happened. Her grandmother and her grandfather were front and center with their swords, okay? And that's how they got down. And you saw her grandmother sacrifice, basically. And she had to send Siri on her way, so that the bad people who were taking over her kingdom would not get her granddaughter. And you were reminded constantly throughout the show that Ciri is very important. She has a huge destiny that everyone should protect her, basically. That's what you see go on here. So that's the whole story, basically. You see that these three main characters are going through their life, intertwining with each other. You see Henry Cavill's character get with Yennefer after, of course, she's beautiful, and they fall in lust with each other. Found out later it's magic that's been placed upon them, and they think they're in love, but they're not. And when Yennefer realizes what's going on, she dips out. Okay, and then she wants to go back to our blue-eyed Jessie Smollett, who loved her when she was deformed and ugly, and they have some really good sex scenes in here too, by the way. Like some good stuff. Anyway, she goes back to him, and even though you find out, you know, that he was sort of being used to get close to her, get information out of her, you also see that he chose her in the end. He wanted to be with her because he actually wanted her, loved her just like she was. And after she had turned him away and gone off and then come back, he no longer wanted her. It's crazy. Karma's a bitch. Anyway, this show is so damn good, you all. The fighting scenes in here, phenomenal, okay? And when I say that, some of my favorite movies are 300, Gladiator, Braveheart. I watch the fighting scenes. I pay attention to them, and I was not let down on this show at all. The politics and conflicts, like I say, they come to you later. It's all given to you in puzzle pieces. As you go on later, you're able to see it all drawn together, and I appreciate that. This was just an excellent story, excellent show. They've already been approved for season 2 back in November, and I believe that's a reason why they're able to bring it all together at the end of the show, answer all your questions, still leaving, of course, some, and leaving it open to where we get a season 2, which, of course, we're going to get. And I'm excited for that one, too, y'all. They did a damn good job on this show. They did not play. And I would give it a 9.5 out of a 10. And you guys leave me comments, hit the like button, become a subscriber. Let me know what you think, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye.